Iconic director James Gunn talked about the canonicity of the DCU and how if you're dead, you stay dead, except one iconic Batman superpower. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn, the man known for creating some iconic movies like Guardians of the Galaxy and The Suicide Squad, has been the co-head of DC Studios since 2022. The director is all set and geared for the release of the upcoming movie Superman, and that's what we are a tad bit concerned about. It won't necessarily turn out to be a bad movie, but there are some signs that people aren't too sure about. The director recently commented about canon rules about the DCU and how each death will be permanent. In the comic books, superheroes and the good guys generally don't die. Even if they do die, they are brought back with some other cheap trick or tactic to create fake high stakes in the comics. These rules are also followed by the MCU as well as the DCU to some extent. All started when a fan stated that no one in DC stays down forever on Threads at JamesGunn/IG. That's when James Gunn, who's often known to be very responsive on social media, stated that if you're dead, you're dead. In the DCU, if you die, you're dead. In another thread, Gunn also talked about Batman's potential superpower, the Lazarus Pit, and how he wouldn't shy away from using it. But there's a condition for that, too. If you don't know what the Lazarus Pit is, it was prominently used by Ra's al Ghul to heal and potentially revive people who had died. So, would James Gunn make an exception for Batman if the superhero were to potentially die? Well, there's a condition. Another thread, Gunn talked about the potential usage of the Lazarus Pit in his DCU. Although previous directors like Christopher Nolan, the Dark Knight trilogy, and Zack Snyder, the DCU, have not used the Lazarus Pit in their movies, it seems that James Gunn wouldn't mind using it. Fans have doubted Gunn's abilities, especially when you consider scenes like the three-teeth knock in Superman. His decision to potentially use the Lazarus Pit in the DCU could have some devastating results. Well, I wouldn't mind using the Lazarus Pit and/or resurrection in a story, but it would have to be a part of the story itself. I won't be killing major characters just to pop them in the old LP to be alive again. He added in another thread by @JamesGunn/IG. What backfires more is people believing there are no stakes and death doesn't mean anything. Dead is dead. Even Batman doesn't use the Lazarus Pit because he's afraid. Although the pool does have healing powers, the negative effect of the Lazarus Pit is insanity. Although the character comes back from the dead, they are never the same again. This is Batman's one superpower, which is actually magical, instead of the logical suit that he built, and James Gunn will only use it if the story demands it. Only time can tell whether Gunn will decide to use the Lazarus Pit, and if he does, what will be the consequences of it. James Gunn confirms an unexpected R-rated DCU horror projects tied to AI fans. Clayface is about to get a terrifying makeover, be real. Home Interviews, a great horror movie. James Gunn's most unplanned rated R DCU project will have AI connections. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. A great horror movie. James Gunn's most unplanned rated R DCU project will have AI connections. James Gunn confirms an unexpected R-rated DCU horror projects tied to AI fans. Clayface is about to get a terrifying makeover, be ready. David Craig and Brian Crano talk I don't understand. James Gunn is on a mission to reset the DCU for good, and something is cooking for everyone. With Superman's upcoming release, Gunn has recently opened up on some of the future projects, and one of them turned out to be something fans did not see coming. Fans might want to sit down for a minute for this, because DC is going all horror soon, with Clayface. Yes. As per Gunn's recent update on the project, the film will be a body horror and will be rated R. What's even wilder? The film might have something to do with AI and deep fake. This revelation during his recent interview has left the internet divided. While some are all for the idea, the rest are disappointed. Nevertheless, DC and body horror? This is a win-win. James Gunn and Mike Flanagan, DCU's horror dream team. The idea of Batman's iconic, shape-shifting supervillain, Clayface, coming to life is all thanks to American filmmaker Mike Flanagan. As per Deadline, Flanagan pitched the idea of Clayface to DC Studios, which got greenlit to join the DC. The filmmaker had expressed his wish to make a standalone Clayface film back in 2021, over X, back then Twitter, and wanted to approach it as horror/thriller/tragedy. James Gunn is in talks with very famous actor for a DCU project, but with one. James Gunn is in talks with very famous actor for a DCU project, but with one condition. As per recent updates by The Hollywood Reporter, the film got its director, and it's none other than Speak No Evil director, James Watkins, with actor Tom Rhys-Harries leading it. And now, with DC boss James Gunn sharing his take on it, it seems like the preparation for the upcoming film is under full swing, and it's leading the horror way just like Mike Flanagan envisioned. Clayface to be a product of AI and body horror? James Gunn reveals. James Gunn in a still. James Gunn in a still credits. For the unversed, Clayface, also known as Basil Karlo, is a shape-shifting villain with a tragic backstory in the DC Comics. Ditching the traditional view, the DCU version might come with a terrifying upgrade with the help of AI and deep fakes. During his recent appearance on the DC Studio Showcase official podcast, James Gunn revealed that the Clayface film will be quite intense with a touch of body horror and will likely be rated R. He said, "It's rated R, yeah, it's not anything now, because the MPAA has to watch it, but it's most likely rated R. It's pretty intense." The DC boss also spoke about how it all started and credited Mike Flanagan for the scripting of Clayface, calling it a body horror movie. Gunn said, "Mike Flanagan is somebody who I've been friendly with for a long time, and he wrote me about Clayface. He texted me about it really early on in my DC journey. Just being honest, I did not think that was something that was going to happen, but he came in and he pitched the idea and I was like, OS. That's cool. It's a body horror movie. It's a horror movie that, like any cool body horror movie, just happens to be in the DCU. Who is Tom Rhys-Harries? James Gunn confirms his new Clayface with James Watkins directing related. Who is Tom Rhys-Harries? James Gunn confirms his new Clayface with James Watkins directing. When comic correspondent Coy Jandreau expressed his view about Clayface having commentary of AI and deep fake to it as it is 2025, James Gunn immediately jumped in and replied, "That stuff, that's in there." The quick confirmation from James Gunn was enough to prove that DC is very serious about Clayface being the horror film its fans never saw coming their way. James Gunn and DC's AI helped horror film? Fans react to Clayface buzz. James Gunn in a still. With James Gunn's recent insight on the upcoming DC film, the netizens can't help but pour in their reactions all on X. While some are eager for more updates and eventually the Clayface release, the rest are not exactly smiling about the fact. With James Gunn's recent insight on the upcoming DC film, the netizens can't help but pour in their reactions all on X. While some are eager for more updates and eventually the Clayface release, the rest are not exactly smiling about the fact the makers are planning